I know a lot of people have made a hobby out of celebrating crypto bros taking L's, and this week they were eating good. Their bellies were stuffed because the largest L in cryptocurrency history, perhaps, just happened this week. FTX, the second largest cryptocurrency exchange, just went tits up and collapsed almost overnight.
It all started with this.
I've been waiting to talk about this since the situation seems to be changing every few minutes, but as some of you may have seen, FTX US has been a sponsor here on the channel for the majority of the year. Their international counterpart, however, FTX.com, has recently faced liquidity issues, disabled withdrawals, and because of that, I'm worried about the potential impact to FTX US. I think it's pretty safe to say as a result of that, I'm no longer working with them.
Fees are bad. Fees are very bad, but FTX, there are no fees whatsoever.
And if you sign up with our link,
Signing up using my link.
There are referral links.
If you use my link below and the code name Tom Nash.
Oh, stop it, please. You guys are embarrassing yourselves. Listen, what a week it has been for financial influencers. Their reputations have just been going down the toilet. People who promoted absolute garbage companies like FTX US and BlockFi for millions of dollars. Today, we're finally seeing the results as both of those companies are basically bankrupt.
A lot of the big finance YouTube creators are all at the same agency. So you can see this. This is Graham, Stephan, Andre Zeek, me, Kevin. You guys can find this called Creators Agency, easy to find. I'm sure they're getting irritated with me doing these things, so I'm sure they'll change their website soon. Nate O'Brien, Minority Mindset, and then most importantly, Spencer Cornelia is on this. And the first time I made a video about them, Spencer actually wrote on my channel attacking me, and many of their content creators were coordinated attacks. And it's funny because they're coordinating now, defending each other. And this is sort of where Spencer is essentially throwing himself in front of the bus to protect his friends.
A lot of finger pointing is happening right now as FTX crumbles, and we need to find out who to blame. Since I am the influencer who created T-Rex Inu in order to scam someone, I am the most qualified person to speak on this subject. The finance YouTubers who promoted FTX are under fire right now. They were paid money to promote a company that ultimately went bankrupt and caused customers to lose money. A lot of videos are attacking them. Are they to blame? There is one bad actor here. Sam Bankman-Fried is essentially a degenerate gambler who got greedy and lost. Everyone involved is now taking the blame for one man's actions. The first argument I'm presenting is that FTX had global sponsors with audiences exponentially larger than anyone sponsored on YouTube. From my perspective, if you're looking to place blame and you're a logical and reasonable adult and use a weighted scale, then finance YouTubers should receive such an insignificant amount that it's not even statistically important.
I'm getting third wave embarrassment from it. You know, I know it's mind-bendingly stupid to imagine that people actually listen to YouTubers for financial advice, but we all know they do. That's why they get offered these insane financial deals. And these people had a responsibility to their fans, and they blew it. So I want to talk about it because it's a pretty big scandal, and it involves a lot of people I know. Some of them I've even done collabs with. And just honestly, it's crazy how many of the biggest financial channels took deals promoting this garbage. And honestly, none of y'all are getting off the hook today.
I think Coffeezilla makes an argument that many in the comment section do, which is finance YouTubers are supposed to be finance experts and they're giving financial advice and they should know better is essentially the argument. Investors who put $2 billion into FTX face scrutiny too. Venture capital firms and investment funds showered the failed crypto exchange and its founder with money. Forbes estimates Sequoia Capital invested $200 million.
Pretty large round and a pretty risky bet.
Paradigm, a fund focused on crypto and Web3 tech, invested an estimated $215 million. You have some of the smartest investors in the world investing $200 million into FTX, and somehow finance YouTubers should have known it was a scam? That doesn't really add up. I'm sorry, Coffeezilla, but that's not an argument that holds any weight.
While I'm not going to particularly take a side because I'm too busy and I don't care, it is very important to note that people like BlackRock and Sequoia, they understand that this stuff is risky. And that's the whole point of venture capital firms is 9 of your 10, ventures are going to go down in flames. One of them is going to boom into something you could have never imagined, right? So I think it's kind of a disingenuous claim to say that just because some VC firms are funding something that it's safe, right? These people know what they're getting into. They know the risk. They know that there's likely a 90% chance plus that they don't make their money back, let alone make a profit. So I don't know. I love Spencer, but I don't think that's a good argument.
Play the same defense for their buddies. The defense is, well, everyone else was doing it, therefore it's okay. Well, everyone else is running through the alligator pit, therefore I want to run through the alligator pit. Well, everyone else is greedy, therefore we should be greedy. That's the kind of defense that they're playing. And the reason why it's ridiculous is that it's simply not true. Not everyone is crazy greedy out there, and not everyone is pushing crypto.
But I don't think that's the only reason, because I think that'd be honestly too easy to say, oh, they were just greedy, that's why they did this. I actually think it's worse than that. I talked to a lot of these guys, and they were fooled. That's the scariest part. So many of these experts who are giving you guys advice totally bought into this Sam character as this genius billionaire, right? The most generous billionaire in the world, who also happened to be paying them handsomely, of course. And I just think it shows how bad the discernment is out there making videos on how to invest. It's alarming how many people fell for this guy's ruse. And it's alarming how easy it was to convince them. Like, some of these guys believed in Sam because he drives a beat up car.
You trust the guy more when you see the car he drives. He's worth like $20 billion or something, and he drives like this kind. I don't want to call it beat up. It's like it's an older Toyota. He doesn't even have window tints on the completely stock Toyota.
What does that have to do with anything?
BlackRock was an investor in FTX. I'm fairly confident that they did more due diligence than anyone and couldn't predict the behavior of one individual. Forbes lists FTX as having 24 different top-notch auditors and financial firms providing services to ensure compliance in a well-run organization. The point I'm making is that if you're someone who is placing the blame on finance YouTubers, then you're stating that they should have known it was a scam, even though hundreds of people had full access to the company and didn't know what was to come.
I think it exposes a big gaping flaw in this influencer world, where it's not just the greed, it's just this systemic failure of people to recognize their own lack of expertise.
I strongly disagree with Coffeezilla here, because some of the smartest minds in the world were fooled by Sam, because you can't predict what Sam pulled on everyone. What we witnessed is one person committing some of the worst financial crimes of our time. SBF deserves to be in jail for defrauding millions of investors and customers and causing absolute financial mayhem. Look, I'm not here to tell you how to think or what to believe. I've just seen so much hate thrown towards finance YouTubers as if they were the problem.
I think at the end of the day, everyone's a little right. I think Coffeezilla is right that these people made millions of dollars selling crypto to their audience, and they're not exactly experts on a lot of the stuff they talk about, and that's okay. I mean, they're entertainment channels. They just have to understand that their audience is incredibly susceptible to whatever they tell them, right? You know, if you're watching a sports channel, you're going to listen to their opinion on sports. If you're watching a finance channel, you're going to listen to their opinion on finance, whether or not it's justified because of how many subscribers they have. And I think Spencer's also right. I don't think you can entirely blame the finance YouTubers. I don't think that they do enough due diligence in general to generally trust their financial advice. That's why they all put the not financial advice. I'm not going to get into legal territory of the fact that none of them are financial advisors, so they have to be very careful with what they actually say. But when the owner and founder of a gigantic billion-dollar, pump and dump blows it all up and takes off to Brazil, I don't think you can entirely leave the whole blame on the content creators, even though they made a terrible, terrible decision. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Subscribe for more. I got to get back to work. Bye-bye.